to bring you the best films in Ireland. Eclipse Cinemas.
Well, it's getting very close to Christmas, folks. Some big movies to review this evening. We've got Spider Man, The Matrix, Resurrection. We've got a movie from 1946. I feel a bit of Christmas in the air. Collie?
Yes, there's times you know it's Christmas. For some people, it's the first time we show, like Santa Claus or Elf. For me, it's when It's a Wonderful Life comes out. That's when you know Christmas is just around the corner.
Class movie.
But I tell you, there is no time to rest in the Eclipse Bundoran. I tell you that much, because we had the biggest opening night of all year. Not even when the cinemas opened after COVID. Not even James Bond. Last night, Spider Man opened up, and it was huge. We had 4 sellouts, and yeah, it is true to say. Obviously, we're always careful. So the social distancing is still there. So the screens aren't as big. Well, all that means is in the old days it would have been 2 massive sellouts. It was huge, I tell you. And poor Al Muggins here, because I had to go and see my old friend Carl, was back from America for only a few days, so I had to go and see him. So because I wouldn't want to let you or our listeners down, I got up at 6 a.m. to watch it yesterday. 6 a.m. Like, I'm always giving out about it weird of watching a movie early in the morning, but at 9. 6 a.m. 6 a.m. We're still in my PJs at the cinema, but there we go. Look, I suppose we better explain a little bit of what the story is about. And I think this clip is pretty good at setting up where we are. It's the 3rd Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, and it's the biggest one yet.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal. That was when you found out.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man, we started getting some visitors. From every universe.
Hello, Peter. You're not Peter Parker.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
There are others out there. We need to send them back. So, Scooby-Doo this crap.
All this is kind of your mess. I know a couple of magic words myself, starting with the word please.
Please, Scooby-Doo this crap.
You're flying out into the darkness to fight ghosts.
What do you mean?
They all die fighting Spider-Man. It's their fate. I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
Look, there has to be another way.
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe.
You're not gonna take this away from me.
Peter, you're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone. What's happening?
They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
It's only when I hear that clip now I realize how Christmassy it is. When you start getting visitors from all over the universe, it must be Christmas. And the thing is, some visitors are welcome, Seamus, but some of them aren't so welcome, are they?
No, they're not.
No, they're not. And their timing couldn't be worse. So, obviously, we're not, we're a spoiler-free review show here. We're not going to give any spoilers. But, obviously, we're going to have to mention mild spoilers for the previous movies, which were really good. And one of the things we talked about a lot when the last one was out was the Tom Holland. I think he's about 27, 28 now, but he still looks like a teenager. And he's
He
been
does.
the best one at playing Spider-Man as what he was supposed to be, a slightly confused teenager. When he's being Spider-Man, he's a hero. But when he's Peter Parker, he's all over the place. He's a bit of an idiot. You know, he's a genius, but he's a bit of an idiot too.
Does that remind you of?
Yeah, well, aside from the genius part, yes. So one of the things that happened in the last movie, his secret identity was revealed, and now his life is ruined. Everyone knows he's Spider-Man. Everyone knows. They think his girlfriend's only with him because he's Spider-Man. All this sort of stuff. There's no peace. There's all these conspiracy theorists who don't believe that he's a hero, that he's a bad guy. So he goes to Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, who we've met in previous Avenger movies, and says, "Can you make everyone forget I'm Spider-Man?" But in the middle of the spell, as you heard in the clip, he starts to panic and says, "Oh no, maybe other people should know," and it causes chaos. And all people from different universes come in, and by that, and I'm not going to give too much away, but we know from the clips and so on, people will know that we've Doc Ock, and we've got the Green Goblin from previous movies. And what's funny about the previous movies is they were not the ones Tom Holland was in. These were other movies with a different Spider-Man, and they bring in this story, and Octopus looks at him and goes, "You're not Peter Parker. Why aren't you my Peter Parker?" It's very clever. It's kind of like if you imagine Inception as a superhero movie, but with a lot of jokes. I thought it was tremendous. Now, here's the thing. If you hated all the others, this ain't going to win you over. As a matter of fact, there's so many jokes, there's so many Spider-Man jokes, there's so many things, references to the cartoons, to everything else. It's all together. But if you're a big fan, and even if you're disappointed with the recent superhero movies, you love this one. It's a real return to form. It's brilliant. It's going to be huge all over Christmas.
Right, I know what I'm going to for Christmas anyway. Right, The Matrix is back.
The Matrix is, yeah. Okay, so, you know, who thought we needed another Matrix? I certainly didn't after the 2 sequels, but already I've been watching the interviews with Keanu Reeves. This is going to be good. They only said they'd go back and do another one if they could get the right story, and also maybe to kind of fix a few of the errors in the sequels. The first one was brilliant. Second and third, so. And this looks really something special. It opens next Wednesday. Again, it's going to run all over Christmas, of course. All over Christmas. But opens next Wednesday for a couple of days. And then we're off for Christmas Day. And then back on Stephen's Day. I nearly said Boxing Day. My God. I'd be revoked from my family.
I'm revoked. Come here. You are re-screening the 1946 classic, which is probably the best Christmas movie of all time. It's a Wonderful Life. I
think so. And if time to just say this, did you know?
You have a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so It's a Wonderful Life, like Shawshank Redemption and a lot of other favorite movies, Wizard of Oz wasn't a particularly big hit at the time when it came out. Actually, people didn't really like it that much. Some of the critics did, but where it got a life on television, I only learned this out today. A friend of mine told us its rights for television went in the 70s. So loads of American TV channels started playing it constantly at Christmas because they didn't have to pay for it. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons it became a favorite movie, where other movies from 1946 be forgotten. Also, it's brilliant, but because it got into as a Christmas thing to do, it got into the and people go, and I hadn't seen it till about 4 years ago. Just never got around to seeing it. Went to see it on the screen, and what I was surprised at, you forget how dark it is at the start, but also how funny it is. People would say, "Oh, old movies not the same as on." It is really funny, really brilliant, and you'll be crying by the end.
Come here, when is it on?
It's on at, I think it's 3:15. It's on around 3-ish on Sunday. So perfect afternoon. All the family, bring granny, that sort of thing. It's that
10 seconds on next week. 10 seconds.
So we'll be talking about Matrix, and we'll also be talking about Kingsman, and maybe even we'll talk about maybe Christmas gifts involving movies. Why not?
I won't be here next week. It'll be with Shane here next Thursday. But can I say it? Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas, Shamey. We'll see you in the new year. Can't wait for it. Big year in 2022. Big year.